All right, two more storytellers left. Come to the stage. Everyone start clapping. This is storyteller number 9. He needs energy. His name is James Petersen, and here he is. Give it up for James Petersen.
The thing I like about riding motorcycles most is there is nothing between you and the world. The thing I like least about riding motorcycles is there is nothing between you and the world. 4 months ago, I was lying in a hospital bed in northern India, an IV tube feeding me painkillers and antibiotics, a larger tube draining blood from a hole in my chest. How did I get there? Facebook. In March, I turned 70. I don't do birthdays, but I forgot to tell Facebook that. And suddenly, I'm getting condolences from all over the world. Save one, my friend Rob in New Zealand. I met him on a 5,000-mile motorcycle trip across South America, and he has a good idea. He wants to do a motorcycle tour of the Himalayas. Small group of expert riders. It's an organized tour. There will be guides, a support vehicle, spare bikes, mechanics, a medic. What could go wrong? Theoretically, in India, you drive on the left-hand side of the road, but in practice, you see an opening, you honk your horn, and you go for it. I'm dodging trucks, vans, motorized rickshaws, donkey carts, some guy on a bicycle with 20 crates of live chickens. I go through a year's worth of adrenaline by lunch on the first day. It's monsoon season. It is wet. And on the second morning, I'm coming down a long hill, and the front wheel of the motorcycle washes out. I'm thrown over an embankment. All I can think of is Hollywood, that movie where Michael Douglas slides down a muddy slope and ends up with his head between Kathleen Turner's thighs. That's not going to happen here. I grab a bush and come to a stop 10 feet above a precipice, a 100-foot drop into a river. I am banged up, but I think I can ride, and I do for the next 3 days. On pavement, following the bikes up the side of a mountain, it's pure euphoria. On rough sections, on roads being reclaimed by the mountains, less so. By the 4th day, I was too weak to hold the motorcycle upright. I had to ask Rob for help. I thought it was altitude sickness. We were at 17,000 feet. There was the rumor of a hospital in the next town. I checked in. The x-ray showed 5 broken ribs, a collapsed lung, and a chest full of blood. They wheeled me into the surgery. A doctor stuck a tube through my chest, filled 1 bag of blood, 2nd bag with blood, started on a 3rd. They gave me a transfusion, put the IV in, and wheeled me into the recovery room, put me on a bed stained with the blood of the previous patient. I had one task. Every hour for 10 minutes, I had to breathe into this plastic gizmo with 3 balls, trying to levitate 3 balls, red, yellow, blue. I could only manage 2. Carl, the group medic, a former British Special Forces guy, stood at the end of the bed and said, "Petersen, you wimp! Any fool can suck 2 balls. I want to see that blue ball dance." This is how guys show affection. My friend Rob takes my cell phone, asks for my daughter's contact info. For some reason, the hospital has no contact with the outside world. He goes up the hill to the hotel and uses the hotel Wi-Fi. The password is, "Have a great day." He calls my daughter, reaches out to my daughter, and explains the situation. He sends her x-rays. He says, "This is an emergency. We have to evacuate your dad now. Contact the insurance company." Arranging for a medevac from halfway around the world is a little bit more complicated than calling an Uber. But 48 hours later, a plane takes me from Kashmir to a modern hospital in New Delhi. And after 2 weeks of making the blue ball dance, I come home. The first thing I do is I post a picture of my ribcage on Facebook. I receive get well messages that say essentially the same thing. "Jesus, Jimbo, you'll do anything for a story. But really now, you're 70, act your age." Okay, I won't ride motorcycles in the Himalayas again, but act my age? Nah. One memory stays with me. In the waiting room of that first hospital, I saw a boy holding his father's hand, and the boy was wearing a t-shirt that said, I kid you not, "Mistakes sometimes make the best stories." Amen.
One more time for James, everybody. And let me just say this. Pound for pound, James look good for 70. You might have some black in your family somewhere. Preserved, very preserved.